2 British men and 1 Morrocan national sentenced to death after fighting for Ukraine against Russia must be released and returned the home, without delay, a UK foreign minister has demanded. The pair's so-called trial had no legitimacy, Junior Foreign Minister Lord Ahmad have told the House of Lords, where he was pressed over the plight of the 2 men. Aidan Aslan, 28, originally from Newark, Nottinghamshire, and Sean Pinner, 48, from Bedfordshire, have been treated as foreign mercenaries by pro-Russian authorities in the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic, one of 2 breakaway Russian puppet states in the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine. They handed down the death sentences to the 2 Britons and 1 Moroccan man for fighting for Ukraine. Mr. Aslan and Mr. Pinner were both living in Ukraine before the invasion, and the UK government has insisted that, as legitimate members of the Ukrainian armed forces, they should be treated as prisoners of war under the Geneva Convention. Responding to a question at Westminster, Lord Ahmad said, "The government condemns the sentencing of 2 British nationals, Aidan Aslan and Sean Pinner, held by Russian proxies in eastern Ukraine. Both are soldiers in the Ukrainian armed forces and therefore prisoners of war, entitled to protection under international humanitarian law. The so-called trial in the non-government-controlled area of Ukraine has no legitimacy, and the United Kingdom is fully supportive of the government of Ukraine in its effort to get them released." The Bishop of St. Albans, who raised the issue in the Lords, said, "What discussions are taking place with our European and American partners to say to Russia that if these executions go ahead there will be serious repercussions? Also, what guidance is being given to the estimated 3,000 UK nationals who are now fighting, many of whom haven't joined the official army and therefore don't come under the Geneva Convention, who are putting themselves at huge risk should they be caught?" Lord Ahmad said, "The advice of the British government has been very, very clear. Do not travel to Ukraine." He added, "In terms of our work with other allies and partners, first and foremost we are working very constructively with Ukraine. The detainees are very much part and parcel of the engagement Ukrainians are having with the Russians directly. We are very supportive of those efforts." He added, "We have been making representations, including directly with the Russian authorities. We do not recognize the de facto authorities in occupied parts of Ukraine, and I think that is the right approach." Labour former Defence Secretary Lord Brown of Leyden pressed the government over whether an investigation had been launched into British former civil servant and pro-Russian propagandist Graham Phillips, who interrogated Mr. Aslan while he was handcuffed and injured. Footage of Mr. Aslan's questioning posted online was subsequently taken down by Facebook and YouTube. Lord Brown said, "In respect of Aidan Aslan, on April 18 Graham Phillips, a British former civil servant and pro-Russian propagandist, published a video interview with him, when he was then a prisoner of war, in handcuffs, physically injured and manifestly under duress, and extracted from him an admission in those conditions that he was not a Ukrainian soldier, but had a different relationship with the war. Experts who have studied this video and the circumstances say there's sufficient evidence there to support the view that this was a breach of the Geneva Convention and its treatment of prisoners of war, and that Phillips, a British citizen, is at risk of prosecution for war crimes. As he is a British citizen, ought not we to be further investigating this to see if he has violated international law and issue a warrant for his arrest?" Referring to the captured Britons, Lord Ahmad said, "Prisoners of war cannot be prosecuted for taking part in direct hostilities. The whole process is about their early release, and they must be released and repatriated without delay at the end of hostilities, if not before. Certainly that's been the case we have been making very specifically. These situations are extremely sensitive, but we need to remind Russia the obligations are on Russia to ensure they uphold the principles of IHL." Pressed on whether there would be an inquiry into Mr. Phillips, Lord Ahmad said, "I am not going to comment on the specifics, particularly under the sensitive situation which is currently applying to the detainees. Hopes remain that a negotiated solution can be found that would spare their lives, and result in a prisoner of exchange that would allow the men to go free." Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can be alerted to our next episode. We'll see you again soon on Warzone.